Down but not out, the Dodgers gear up to even up the NL Championship Series after being blanked by the Brewers in our yard. Yep, no one does that to the Dodgers, at least not twice in a row.
That's right. Well, tonight's game is not do or die. The team needs to do something.
Yes, our sports director Jim Hill is live at the stadium where we were an hour away from the start of Game 4 and the start of the win. Jim?
Ladies, thank you very much. It's not do or die. It is very critical, though, because the Dodgers do not want to go down 3-1 in this best-of-7 series to the Milwaukee Brewers in the National League Championship Series. Now, the Dodgers know that they have been a little frustrated lately, especially after losing last night. And so today they turn to Rich Hill to try to get them back onto the spring of things, and he knows exactly what he's facing.
Knowing that kind of character that they have over in that clubhouse is something that's always proven to get teams to this point, not just because they're good, but they also have the chemistry in the clubhouse. So from that point, to answer your question, that is probably something, you look a little bit deeper into scouting reports as opposed to, what they hit and what they don't hit. It's really about the makeup and the fight that they have too as well, knowing that, no lead is ever safe. Very similar to us. I think it's something that we have in our clubhouse as well.
Last night was also a tough evening for catcher Yasmani Grandal, who had trouble catching the ball and hitting it as well. He got booed by the fans, and after the contest, his teammate Enrique Hernandez criticized fans for booing him, saying they should try to get behind the plate and catch a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Earlier this afternoon, manager Dave Roberts talked about the entire situation.
I know he feels we're all in it together as far as players, coaches, fans. And so I know there was a little bit of a clarification, retraction, whatever it might be. I do know the player, I know the person, and I know he cares. And so I know he loves being a Dodger. And again, his interaction with the fans is top level. So I know he felt bad that it was kind of received that way.
In other baseball news today, the Angels opted out of their stadium lease with the city of Anaheim, bringing into question whether the team will stay in their longtime home. Anaheim Stadium is now the 4th oldest ballpark in the major leagues, behind Boston's Fenway Park, Chicago's Wrigley Field, and here at Chavez Ravine Dodger Stadium. The Angels would not say today whether staying in Anaheim is their priority, and team president John Carpino released this statement saying, quote, "As we look to the future, we need to have the ability to continue to deliver a high-quality fan experience beyond what the original lease allows. It is important that we look at all of our options and how we can best serve our fans now and in the future." But tonight, here at Chavez Ravine, Game 4 in the National League Championship Series between the Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. All the highlights for you tonight at 11 o'clock. Reporting live from the Championship Series here in the National League, I'm Jim Hill. Pat, back to you now.
All right, thank you, Jim. Well, fans are keeping the faith as they fill up the stadium to root for their boys in blue. And CBS2's Dave Lopez is live inside the stadium with that pregame excitement. I know there's a lot of it, Dave.
Well, there is, Pat. A lot of anticipation as well. This is the view from Section 11 on the reserve level, row U, as you look down as the Milwaukee Brewers are wrapping up their batting practice. Big game tonight. There's no doubt about it. It's not a must-win, as people have said, but you certainly don't want to go down 3-1. And as the late, great Chick Hearn used to tell people when a big game comes up, ladies and gentlemen, it's nervous time.
Jeffress on 1 and 2. Got him! Struck him out looking.
It's not exactly a do-or-die game tonight for the Dodgers, or is it, Dodger fans?
For me, in my heart, it's a must.
Definitely a must-win. You don't want to. Dodger fans don't want. We don't want to be down 3-2 going back to Milwaukee, right?
Back is Bellinger. And it's off the wall.
It wasn't exactly a stellar night for the Dodgers in the field, and in particular for the catcher Yasmani Grandal. Did you boo him?
Yeah, I booed him real hard.
No, but I was really mad.
Austin Barnes will start behind the plate tonight for Game 4. Grandal's on the bench. Will that make a difference?
I love Grandal. He's great defense, but as a baseball coach?
Oh, heavens, yeah. Yeah, put me in there, man. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play.
If the Dodgers don't snap out of this and fall 3-1 behind, teams have overcome a 3-1 deficit. But how would that make you feel?
It'd be pretty disastrous, a lot of pressure.
It's a must. And if they don't, I'm not here tomorrow. If they win, I'll be back.
And as for the crowd last night not being into it, as one Dodger, Kiki Hernandez, suggested, what about that? Are Dodger fans into it? or will they be into it more tonight?
Every game is rooting shoes. Every game.
We're going to get into it tonight. That's what matters. Yesterday doesn't matter, but tonight it matters.
Thank you. Well, as the old ballpark starts to fill up, a lot of early arrivals, you can see them coming in. Anticipation is in the air, no doubt about that. It's a big game. Starts in about an hour, and win or lose tonight, regardless, they play again tomorrow. Will it be do or die really for the Dodgers tomorrow at 2 o'clock, or will they try to get a one-game up on the Brewers? Stay tuned, as they say. Reporting live from Section 11, overlooking the ballpark. I'm Dave Lopez, reporting live, CBS 2 News.
All right, Dave. Boy, isn't he lucky?
I know, that view.
And stay with CBS 2 News and CBSLA.com for the latest on the Dodgers as they fight to tie up this series.
Now to wind damage concerns. A day after a woman was killed by a falling tree in Tustin, neighbors are worried it could happen again. The Santa Ana wind sent a eucalyptus tree crashing down on 34-year-old Dennett Burma's car. It's one of a line of trees causing concern. At least 2 have previously broken away. One crashed through a roof and another damaged a carport.
It's really sad. The trees out here are a problem, especially when it's windy like this. It's on people's property, but at the same time, it's kind of everybody's problem.
Neighbors say there's been an ongoing dispute over who is responsible for maintaining the trees.
Well, it's still a little windy today, maybe not as much, but I guess we're not done, huh, Garth?
Well, we've eased off a little bit. We're coming to an end of it as far as the strongest of the winds, so that's a good thing. We're letting the advisories expire the way they should. Still dealing with the red flag warning as the humidity's down. 2 points a little better. You can see it from yesterday. We were like in single digits, 77 degrees right now. That's downtown Los Angeles. Beautiful shot, though, out towards Catalina Island. But boy, it's warmed up beautifully across the valley floor. Mid-80s over towards Studio City, 79 San Bernardino. Covina, good afternoon. 82 for you, 80 for our friends in Santa Ana, 71 up into Oxnard. So we continue on through what has turned into the last blustery couple of days of October. Not unusual for us, but we'll fill you in on the rest of the weather. We'll get you into the weekend all coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Garth. Well, the search continues for the hit-and-run driver who killed a beloved crossing guard in Redlands.
He was riding a scooter on Colton Avenue near Orange Street when a car ran him down and just kept going.
And CBS 2 Inland Empire reporter Tina Patel is live in Redlands, where she spoke with his heartbroken widow. Tina.
Yeah, they really can't believe this happened. The crash was about 6:30 today in this intersection behind me, and if you can take a look, you see just how close it is to the on-ramp to the freeway. Police say after the crash, that driver made the turn and just drove off.
I just lost him today. I don't know. I just feel pain.
Tracy Ortiz doesn't understand how her husband of 19 years could be gone. Leonard, or Bams as he was known to friends, was just a few blocks from their Redlands home when his scooter collided with another vehicle. It's hard to tell what happened on this security video. Ortiz says it was probably just an accident, but the other driver didn't stop.
Just left him there. They hit him, ran him over, and left him there to die, and he did.
Ortiz says her husband was well known in the community. The 48-year-old worked as a crossing guard near Lagonia Elementary School and was featured in the Redlands Daily Facts newspaper just a couple years ago.
He was the man that everybody loved to go by. They went out of their way to go by and see the crossing guard, the smiling, happy crossing guard that waved to everybody.
The article featured pictures of the couple riding their scooter together. Ortiz says her husband took safety very seriously.
I mean, he was so patient, so kind, and so good with his driving because he didn't want to hurt me, he said, or anybody else.
That's why she has trouble understanding how he could die in this way. She hopes the driver who took off realizes what they've done and turn themselves in.
I don't hate him. My husband wouldn't have hated him either. And I forgive him. But I just want them to get what they need to get. You know, they need to be punished for leaving him there like a dog, a dirty dog.
And while we've been here, several people have stopped by. They say they recognize this man and they can't believe this happened. Police are looking at security cameras in the area, but they're hoping that maybe somebody has a description of the vehicle. Anyone with information is asked to come forward. Live in Redlands, Tina Patel, CBS 2 News.
Thanks, Tina. The family of a missing Calabasas man is desperately looking for answers, especially since he disappeared in the Malibu Canyon area that's been plagued by shootings. 21-year-old Matthew Weaver Jr. disappeared under mysterious circumstances while hiking in Malibu Canyon August 10th. A witness called 911 the night he vanished after hearing someone screaming for help. Deputies found Weaver's car along a remote trail, but no trace of him. Today, his family announced a $50,000 reward. His father is overcome with worry.
We love and miss him so much. So please help us find out what happened to him. Stay strong. Matthew will find you.
They've set up a GoFundMe page to help pay for a private investigator. They're asking for the person who called 911 the night his car was found to please contact them.
A motel murder in Santa Ana. Police tell us the body of what appears to be a woman was found in a room at the Sunrise Village Motel on East 1st Street around 5 a.m. They won't reveal any more details surrounding the death, but they did tell us a man possibly connected to the case has been detained in Fresno. Detectives here plan to talk to him there.
Orange County officials have confirmed the first death this year from the West Nile virus. The patient was an elderly woman from Tustin. There are now 6 deaths from West Nile statewide. That includes 1 death reported last week in LA County. Health experts remind everyone to take precautions like clearing standing water from your property to keep mosquitoes from breeding. Symptoms of West Nile virus include fever, body ache, headaches, fatigue, swollen lymph glands, and a skin rash.
And still ahead, are the Angels looking for a home outside of Anaheim?
Plus, what does the looming LA teacher strike mean for your kids? The new information LAUSD wants you to know.
But first, a mistake that could have cost 2 young boys their lives. The split-second choice that got them a lecture instead of the barrel of a gun.
Then extreme flash flooding, where a dangerous surge of water took out a bridge.
And nearly $1 billion up for grabs this week. The countdown to tonight's massive Mega Millions drawing. That's ahead at 5.